Morning, y'all. Happy Wednesday, October 9th. It's 7:56 and it's 76 degrees outside. Is it cold front weather yet? Maybe a little bit. I think it's supposed to be like Thursday and Friday. I'm Gino Montalvo right here in South Texas, answering your questions live right after drop off the kids. What's up, Mike? Everybody get in here. You know what you got to do. First thing you get in, Mike, what do they got to do when they get in here? You already know. You got to get in here and you say, morning, y'all. And hit the like button. Tag a friend, like what you hear. If you know anybody that needs to hear this kind of stuff, let them know. We do on this show, if you want to call it that. It's just me hitting the like button on my Facebook. What's up, RJ? What we do on this video, what we do, this is live. What we do on this show is I try to answer real estate questions that I know people have all the time. It's people that we're working with. It's people that we're going to work with. It's maybe someone that you know, someone at your work, a family member you saw this past weekend, someone you saw on Sunday that was just like, man, I'm going through this and I don't know what to do. The most important thing I try to do, morning y'all. The most important thing I try to do whenever someone's buying a house is to let them know at all times, and as much as possible, if anything more than possible, try to let them know, hey, you're good. Your money is safe. What you're doing is right. And it's okay if you don't understand it all. It's okay if you don't understand it all. It's okay if you're nervous. It's okay if you're scared. Who else in here? Montez. And then we got Ernest. Morning, y'all. When you get inside this video, you got to say morning, y'all. Feel free to hit the like button right here. Tag a friend. Why? Because I want as many people as possible. My mouth is not working today. I want as many people as possible to hear this stuff because it's really important. And I try to, keep it real estate related, but also at the same time, life related, because we're all going through this shit the same, right? We're all going through this at the same time. We're all going through this in ways that we never thought, like, damn, when I was in high school or in middle school, I never thought it would be this way. I wish someone would have told me. Maybe they did. Maybe you just weren't listening. So the first question is really important. I'll get into it. If you know anybody else needs to hear it, like I said, share this video, tag them right now, share it on your page, just so people know, hey, this is some good stuff, and you'll see why. There's one thing that I enjoy doing, and like I said, it's helping people buy real estate. And the reason why is because, again, and I've explained this before, I'm really good at explaining things in a way that makes sense. Mostly because when I was growing up, it was the way my dad would do it to me, and it was the way I would do it to myself. I would teach myself how to do certain things by relating it to other things. Be like, the metaphors sometimes wouldn't make sense to most people, but to me, it made sense, and that's how I was able to learn. Because I was like, oh, if you put it that way, anybody say that? If you put it that way, it's like, I get it. We all learn differently. We all accept information differently. So that's why I do this, to make sure that if you maybe have heard this stuff before, maybe hearing it the way I say it might help you. Maybe hearing it the way that me and you can have a dialogue will help you. So the first question above is really important, because every time I talk to someone, it always goes kind of the same way. There are certain people that have messaged me over the years that are like, I'm ready to buy a house, let's go. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. Let me show you what we need to do. I already did that. Great. But then there's some people that I've been talking to for years that message me and ask me questions. By the way, feel free to ask a question inside here once I get done blabbing. I'll be glad to answer your question too. If you have anything related to real estate you want to ask, anything at all, anything you've ever wanted to know, and you want a no bullshit answer, you want the facts, you can ask it. So over the years, when people message me, like I said, it's either people that are ready to go, or it's people that are like, man, I really want to buy a house, but I'm scared, or I don't know if I'm going to have enough money saved, or I'm afraid of what the bank's going to tell me. I'm afraid that my credit's too bad. I'm afraid of so many different things. And so the question above says, should I be afraid when I buy my first home? And I'm going to tell you your answer you probably don't expect. Yes, you should be afraid. But when I say you should be afraid in the same way you're afraid on the first day of school. You should be afraid in the same way the first day you went to your new job. You should be afraid the same way when you go to a party and you don't know anybody. The same way you should be afraid when you have a crush on someone and you finally ask them out. It's because you're afraid of what's going to happen. You know, and you know that it could be really good, but somewhere in your mind it tells you, what if it's really bad? What if I do it and then I just like where things are at now. I'm comfortable the way things are now. I don't want to change anything. So whenever we get scared of things, it's because we don't want to change our current situation, because you're either happy or comfortable with where you are. Not saying that people who don't own a home aren't happy. That's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to say is that when people want to do new things and they hold themselves back, it's because they feel scared. They don't know what the outcome's going to be. If they knew what the outcome was going to be, most people would be like, well, just do it, because what's the big deal? So, that being said, the questions below are, what's the worst that can happen, and what's the best thing that can happen? Because I think a lot of people think that, hey, if I go apply for a home loan, they're just going to laugh in my face, they're going to, just tell me no, and they're going to turn me away, and then I'm just going to be disappointed, it's going to hurt my feelings, and I'm just never going to buy a house. One, no one's going to do that. And if they do that, let me know who does that, because I will kick their ass. No one should be doing that. No one does that. Two, I think, and this is coming from my personal experience, I think people are scared whenever they apply for a home loan because they know that when they give someone their information to go and to look at their credit, that they're probably going to tell them things that they are already telling themselves. They just don't really think about it. Like, for example, when you go apply for a home loan, they pull your credit, there's going to be a lot of stuff there that people are thinking, oh, damn, so you know about that account? Yeah, I stopped paying that account. Or yeah, oh, I made a couple of missed payments on that one. Oh, yeah, there was that too. It's kind of like they're going over a review of your life. And it is in some way, because your credit history and your credit report it's kind of like a summary of your financial life. What I mean by that is they get to see what you've been spending your money on and where you haven't been paying money back for the last couple of years. So I get how sometimes that can be kind of like, it's like gut wrenching, like, oh, I don't want to, I forgot, I put that under the bed and I just forgot about it. I sweep that under the fridge and I don't think about that stuff. But you're going to have to. And here's why it's important. Here's some of the worst things that can happen if you buy a home. And I'll tell you the honest truth. Here's what you're worried. I'm going to get into a home and it's going to cost me a whole lot of money. And it's just going to be, I'd rather just be in my rental, my apartment, where I can just call someone and they fix it. That's always someone's go-to. Well, if anything breaks down, I can just call and fix it. Well, one, when we buy a house, we're going to buy smart. We're not going to buy something that needs a whole lot of work. That's why we do inspections. You're going to buy smart. You're not going to just buy something just because. You're going to do what they call, in our world, due diligence to make sure that, hey, this house I'm buying, is it worth what I'm paying? Should I look for something else that's maybe in better shape? And then two, you're going to have home warranties. You're going to have things in place. You're going to ask for repairs. There's all these things we can do to make sure, like, hey, if that's your worry, that something's going to break down, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you're going to be sitting good once you get inside this house. So that's people's big worry. Second big worry is, what if I miss a payment? I don't want to mess up my credit, and I don't want a foreclosure, and I don't want to have these problems, and it's like that's a lot of money every month. I'll tell you this: if you have a whole lot of debt right now, and you're just eating the interest, and you're just not where you want to be financially, then yeah, you probably shouldn't buy a house. And I'm going to tell you that you shouldn't buy a house if you're in that situation. When you should buy a house is when your debt's paid down, you have money saved up, work is going good. Maybe a potential raise is happening, or you already got a raise, or work is going heavier. Another thing you should do when you're super stable and hey, this is where I want to be. I want to live in this city. You're not thinking of other places. Those are times when you should buy a house. When you're going through marital problems, when you're going through a previous foreclosure, or when you're going through bankruptcy, or when you're going through, just really high bills and really high stress. Buying a house is not going to fix that. You thinking like, oh, well, if I just buy a house, maybe that'll fix everything else. No, you got to prepare yourself. So that's why when people say, oh, this is the worst that can happen, well, that's the worst that can happen if you just keep living the way you're living. That makes sense? So what's the best that can happen? Here's my experience, and I know there's a lot of people out there that have had this experience. The best experience you can have, or the best thing that can happen, is that one, you're not going to be throwing money away every month on rent. If you've ever rented anywhere, at the end of the year, let's pretend you're at a hotel. What happens when you check out of a hotel? They get you a little printed sheet and it shows all the charges, and it's like, here's what you paid the last couple of nights. Think of it the same way when you check out of an apartment. They're going to show you that bill, and it's going to show you the last 12 months, and you're going to see that total, and you're going to be like, damn, let's just say it's $1,000. I spent $12,000 this year paying off, and if you think it this way, someone owes those apartments. I know a lot of people that actually own apartment complexes. So if someone owns an apartment and you're paying them to live in that apartment, you're paying off his loan that he got to buy that, and a little extra to put money in his pocket. So you're still paying a mortgage, it's just not yours. So don't think you're saving any money by doing that. You're gonna save money by buying your own. And so over a year, those 12 months that you're paying money that just went away, it's money that can get back to you. It's money that if in the next couple of years you want to sell it, you sell it and you make some more money back. That's just one of the benefits. Two, the best thing that can happen, you get to come home and you get to barbecue at your own place. You get to just throw a pit in the backyard, light it up. Have you ever smelled that smell before? You ever walked outside and you smell the charcoal and you smell the lighter fluid just going? Isn't it the best smell in the whole world? It's like no matter what mood you're in, you're just like, it's not even food. It's just like, that smell is, I'm going to come home and barbecue whatever I want. I'm going to throw a steak on the pit. I'm going to go to Staples Meat Market. I'm going to buy me a steak. I'm going to throw it on the pit in my backyard. And there's no one that can tell me anything. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to clean up my house. I'm going to put things away in my house. And I'm going to start, maybe I want to do this weekend. Maybe I want to do this to it. And now I know not everybody's like a HGTV, not everybody's on a do-it-yourselfer, but still the concept is the same. It's like having your own space. You know what I mean? Maybe at work you have like your own office and it's like your sanity. It's like, hey, I need to get away from all the bullshit. And I'm gonna get in my office and just kind of rethink a little bit. It's the same thing with a home. So when you have a home, you get that sense of, pride. You get that sense of ownership. And in all honesty, I don't think there's a better way to feel that. I can't think I'd feel that way if I went home to the second or third floor. Nothing hating on second or third floor apartments. I've been there. But I didn't have the same feeling when I would walk up the steps, holding a berry carrier and walk into my apartment. You can hear people upstairs, people downstairs, hear the people next door having their business. It's just not the same. So I'm going to end this one kind of early today because I'm picking up coffee. But the whole point of today's video, and I hope if you share this with somebody, they understand that yes, it's going to be scary applying for a home loan. Yes, it's going to be scary buying it the first time, but where the scary stops is when you work with someone and you work with teams and people here locally or wherever you live that do this every single day and will guide you through the process to where you think, man, and this always happens, and I can show you videos and I can show you reviews where at the very end people are like, that wasn't anything what I thought it was going to be like. I don't know who put it in my head that this is so scary, but you've made it very easy. I know I wanted to make it very easy. I have been there when it's scary and not had my hand held and not shown the proper way to do this. I've been there too. So when I started doing real estate, do you think I wanted people to go through what I went through? No. You will leave the most horrible reviews ever, and I would never get another client. People would be like, God, that sucked. Like, I don't know what this guy's doing, but he made it really horrible, and I would never want to go through it again. No, I want people to sing my name and say, no, this was the easiest way I've ever done this. I'm so glad I did this now, and I didn't wait longer than I already have. Before I stop, hey, Jen. Who else is in here? Christine, how are you? Vanessa, how are you? If any four of y'all who are still in here have a question, please let me know. If not, just give me a like, and I'm going to leave my phone number, my email inside the comments. The reason I brought this up is because I had one real nice lady yesterday off of Instagram. By the way, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, don't do Snapchat, don't do Twitter. I think I have a LinkedIn page. I don't know. I do email. So on Instagram yesterday, somebody commented on a post. There's this like thing going around. It's a quote that someone made. I saw it yesterday and I added on, buy this house. And the quote was, there's 3 months left in the year. 3 months left in the decade. In the decade. So in 3 months, we're going to be in 2020, a brand new decade. Okay. And so, hey, what's something you wanted to do this decade? Maybe you promised yourself back in 2010, if you weren't a kid. Is it going to be this decade still? Or is it going to be next decade? So it's no longer, hey, I'm going to wait till next year. Think about this. I'm going to wait till next decade. Well, off of that post, she wrote me and said, man, I'm living with my parents. I really want to buy my own home for me and my baby. And I've been saving up. I don't know if I've saved up enough. And I'm not going to give all the numbers. I'm not going to give names. But this person, when we started talked for 5 minutes last night on the phone. It was like 7:30. I was like, hey, give me 5 minutes. Let's answer some questions, see what we can do next. And she said, I've saved up about, 14 grand. I'm like, that's way more than you ever need for just something we can get you into. I know exactly what we can get for you. Just tell me where she wants to live. I'm like, we're going to find you something. It's not going to cost anywhere, if anything, half of that money you've saved up. And I think that's where people get scared, is like, oh God, I've been saving this for a long time. Am I going to have to just like use all of it? Talk to someone that knows, talk to a lender. Let's get you the numbers so that way you aren't scared anymore. You're going to be scared at first, but it goes away. And like anything else great in life, it's just one of those things that, it's going to be scary, but no, at the end of it, it's going to be great. So I hope you have a great day. Phone number, emails in the comments, along with the buyer's guide and seller's guide. You can download to your phones. If you ever have messages, if you have a message or a question you want to send me that's too personal to ask in the comments, I get it. This stuff is personal. We're talking about finance, we're talking about living situations, we're talking about family. Sometimes it's a difficult situation, whatever it is. Let's talk about it privately. That way you don't have to put your business all out there. And then that way we can figure out what you need to do next. Okay? So cold front, hopefully tomorrow, the next day. I'll keep you updated on that. And then if y'all need anything else, let me know. Phone number and email are in the comments. And then if you can, tag or share this with somebody you think needs to hear it. All I'm asking is for one of y'all or a couple of y'all to tag somebody you think needs to hear this stuff, if you think they'll get anything out of it, or share it on their page and say, hey, watch this, take 10 minutes. Go ahead. Take 10 minutes of your day and tell them to watch this. Y'all have a great day. Bye, guys.